This morning, a tense exchange unfolded live on air as BBC presenter Laura Kuenssberg pressed Defence Secretary John Healey on how the government plans to pay for its soaring defence ambitions. Healey stood firm. He confirmed that Britain aims to raise defence spending to 3% of GDP by 2034 after the next general election. And alongside all 32 NATO members, the UK has signed a historic pledge to increase combined defence and security investment to 5% by 2035. Source: UK Ministry of Defence, NATO Summit Statement. Healey described the move as a major boost to Britain's deterrence at a time of rising aggression from Russia and global instability. But Kuenssberg wasn't convinced. She fired back. That's a huge promise, but who's paying for it? And that's where things got interesting. Healey didn't answer directly. Instead, he turned to one area he was prepared to discuss: military housing. He admitted that the state of accommodation for service personnel had been an unfixed scandal for far too long, confirming that the government has taken military homes fully back into public ownership. He then announced £9 billion of investment over the next decade, more than double what the previous administration set aside. Source: UK Defence White Paper 2025. He said, "People in uniform deserve better. We're finally making the long-term investment that's been ignored for years." At this point, let's pause for a quick question to you watching on England Now 7. Do you think this huge rise in defense spending is a bold, necessary move, or just political theater ahead of the next election? Drop your thoughts below because your opinions shape the debate here. Back to the story. Labour's wider defense plan doesn't stop at funding and housing. The party has pledged to build 100,000 new homes on surplus Ministry of Defence land, giving priority access to serving personnel and veterans under its Forces First policy. Source: Labour Party Policy Statement 2025. According to Healey, this is designed to fix years of underinvestment that hurt morale and recruitment across the armed forces. He also highlighted two more headline reforms: the largest pay rise for the armed forces in 2 decades, and expanded childcare support for military families deployed overseas. Source: UK Government Press Office. He said this is part of Labour's promise to renew the nation's contract with those who serve. It all sounds ambitious, yet the question remains: where will the money come from? Economists warn that even a 1% rise in defense spending could mean deep cuts elsewhere, from health to education. Others argue Britain has little choice in a world that feels more dangerous by the day. So what do you think? Should Britain spend more on defense or focus on domestic priorities like the NHS and the cost of living? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. As the interview wrapped up, Kuenssberg pressed again. "You still haven't told us who's writing the check." Healey smiled but didn't answer. It left many viewers wondering, are we hearing a realistic strategy or simply a speech built for headlines? Before you go, think about this. When the next crisis hits, whether from Moscow, the Middle East, or cyberspace, will Britain be ready, or are we buying promises we can't afford to keep? Share this video with someone who cares about Britain's future and subscribe to England Now 7 for balanced news, sharp analysis, and the conversations that matter most to you. Your voice shapes the story, so make it heard. Sources: UK Ministry of Defence Briefing, 2025 NATO Defence Investment Agreement, 2035 Labour Party Policy Statement, 2025 UK Government Press Office Release on Military Housing and Pay,